Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode complicated investment reports. Buckle up, because what started as a promising health tech merger might just end up driving off a cliff into a lake of debt. And if you end up liking this video, consider hitting that like button and subscribe for more straight insights from corporate documents. There's also a Discord community linked in the description below. But what are we talking about? A special filing from SciSparc, a company that started in cannabinoid therapies, decided to merge with Automax, an Israeli car importer. Let's see how that plays out, shall we? Scroll has filed with the Core Securities and Exchange Commission on July 8, 2025, Scroll said. First, let's set the scene. This is an SEC filing, meaning it's a document publicly traded companies in the US have to submit. It's dated July 8, 2025, and it's from SciSparc Ltd. Protocuro document to register securities for a merger. What are the main points? This is a proxy statement which basically means the shareholders will be voting on a proposed merger with Automax Motors. The meeting is planned for August 25, 2025. So what's on the table for this vote? Scroll 1. To approve the consummation quoscro. First, shareholders need to approve the merger itself, which includes issuing SciSparc shares to Automax owners. Shareholders also asked to approve protections for SciSparc bosses going forward, and has Scroll 3. Subject to and contingent of Scroll said approval of a one-time cash bonus to SciSparc CEO, chairman and president if the merger actually happens. And of course, a slate of new board members needs approval. Long story short, the people in charge want this to go through. SciSparc shareholders will be able to vote on several new members to the board of directors. Scroll, after careful consideration, SciSparc's board of directors scroll, so the SciSparc directors feel this merger is fair and good for the company. But why are they doing this? Scroll, SciSparc and Automax believe that the merger will result in a combined company that will maximize shareholder value. Hand scroll to basically they think the merger will make the company worth more, which is what everyone promises. Automax gets access to the US stock market, SciSparc gets a new gig, a new team, and a lot more cash. Simple. But what did an independent third party think about Automax's value? Oh, wait. Scroll, did SciSparc's board of directors obtain all the third-party fairness opinion? Scroll, nope. They considered it but decided an independent third-party valuation report by a company called EDB would be enough. This report is annexed to the file for those interested in reviewing this. Scroll, at the effective time of the merger, each outstanding share of Automax will be converted. Scroll, to Automax shareholders are going to get SciSparc shares. They want the shareholders to approve this and that it's in shareholders' best interest, but still didn't get someone to independently take a look at the merger. Is that not a bit weird? It's a bit like a lawyer using his own lawyer for his case. Scroll, the exchange ratio coincides based on the number of SciSparc's outstanding shares on a fully diluted basis. Scroll, here's where the sausage gets made. It involves the SciSparc outstanding shares, some division, some multiplication, and the Automax outstanding shares. Scroll, as a result of the merger at each Automax warrant, option and certain convertible rights that had resulted from a prior Automax transaction shall be cancelled. Scroll, sorry guys, but your options and warrants are going to zero. Basically, they are saying their assets are worth zero going forward. Scroll at, and immediately after the effective time of the merger, the board of directors of SciSparc. Scroll now to who's going to be in charge. Current SciSparc directors will remain after the dust settles. We have a few directors coming from the Automax side as well, with senior management of SciSparc. Scroll, indicate by checkmark. Scroll now for some interesting legalese. Turns out you can have a special note for the SEC about your shares. Scroll, preliminary proxy count statement, subject to completion, dated. Sorry, Scroll, looks like this statement from SciSparc is still preliminary and subject to change. Scroll's Adler, co-chief executive officer and chief financial officer. Scroll, Kepsu's Adler will wear two hats in the management team as he's both an officer and also a director. Scroll, after careful consideration, SciSparc's board of directors has determined that the merger. Scroll, folly, after careful consideration, these things are being approved for shareholders. Remember to vote whether you like these plans or not, because your vote matters. The parties are tied together with debt. SciSparc has already loaned Automax $4.25 million. If the deal doesn't happen, then Automax has to give it back. What is the board looking at when assessing the merger and asking the independent evaluator, while you Auto Scroll, the valuation report prepared by an independent overview from an evaluator by EDB as to the evaluation of Automax pursuant to board. Gold got an independent overview from Envoywine to decide if they should proceed with the merger. Scroll SciSparc anticipates to continue Chute's current business activities as the parent company, while Automax's current business activities as the parent company. While Automax World, interesting decision making, lots of risks to consider here. A scroll, a SciSparc next on the market price X of SciSparc ordinary share scroll. The value of shares may change. This could go up or down. Also, you could be subject to a number of things that could make this not happen. Scroll, the ability to use of the combined company to deliver or provide products and services. Scroll, till you need to perform, or else deal will not proceed. Okay, so what about SciSparc's business Wall have incurred significant losses? Enthoffen Technikern anticipate that it will continue to incur significant losses. Not making money, got it, scroll. The case material risks and their business and operations scroll. Here we start listing the business risk. What happens if no loans, licenses, trade product restrictions? What if they can't get a supply of vehicles? What happens if macro factors go bad? This sounds like the usual car importing business. Scroll, under Israeli law, every voting shareholder is required to notify the company whether such shareholder is an interested shareholder. Ton scroll. Basically, if you stand to benefit personally from the deal, you have to call yourself out. How convenient. Scroll, Mini Weiss to chairman of the board scroll. It's worth noting that this is also the chairman of Automax. I recommend me. We have to be sure manufacturers are cool and their products are not janky, because supply chains. It looks like they are worried about their relationships in this segment. Scrolls do not anticipate that the COVID-19 scrolls, we don't think COVID will be a bother. Scroll, behalf its exiting shareholders, Scroll SciSparc decline even further. Wow, that's good to know, I guess. Scroll, each of Amnon Ben Shay, Moshe Korovach, and Liat Sidi will continue to be a director of the combined company Scroll. Few of the existing designees for SciSparc will live on and continue to make money. Scroll 10, material Israeli income tax consequences, TAS of the merger scroll. Here they are wanting to make sure you pay your taxes, big or small. This tax bit is important. SciSparc's restructuring plans quote. Plans quote is restructuring and planning on investment opportunity, etc. SciSparc is a clinical company. However, they can't fully finance or move to clinical trials. It's clear they need the finances from Automax. The company has not been successful in all its attempts to obtain the orphan for rare indications. Orphan exclusivity upon of any of its pharmaceutical product candidates. Scroll may not be able to compete effectively core in its markets. Scroll realizes that it may struggle to have its foot in the door with some bigger competitors. Scroll to changes in government policy, changes in policy regarding the classification of vehicles as private or commercial for tax purposes. Scroll Automax realizes that government changes may impede its company. Scroll SciSparc to purchase closing stock following the merger. Scroll, the two parties will try and cooperate here, but will they? Scroll, what risks should I consider? Scroll, again, another reminder of how risky this merger really is. You got to do a lot of research and make the right call as to what your vote should be. Scroll, Emetei Weiss, co-chairman of Tel Aviv Screw C. The company is run in Jerusalem, Israel. Better check those risks due to the war. Scroll, key information in this proxy statement. Prospectus is not complete and may be changed. Scroll, FDN, take all of this with a grain of salt. Lots will change. So after digging through this special SEC filing, we've got a clearer picture of what SciSparc, a company with pharmaceutical history, is up to with Automax. It appears they want to transition to Automax for capital to fund growth, but are getting it from a good source. Did well-respected third parties verify all due diligences were done right? Maybe they just really wanted a slice of the Israeli vehicle market that's having a hard time, because it sounds like this deal is filled with uncertainty. SciSparc's future seems very dependent on market success they are uncertain of, and a lot of financial and regulatory pieces. All of this sounds like a dangerous time, and there's big risk that shareholders could lose a lot. It's probably a pass for me. Alright, that's our breakdown of the SciSparc special SE filing. What's your take on this potential health tech turned car company? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for discussion, more material, and some fun times. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.